Can you imagine how devastating it would be to make 20-year-old mistakes when you're 40 years old? This genius right here decided he wants to find that out the hard way. Gen X trucker whose dream was to go back to college in his 40s to study political science reveals why the decision was a terrible mistake. So you had a stable job as a truck driver and you thought getting a useless degree was going to help you. Man, this guy's a real genius, man. Although we're going to get into this throughout the article. This isn't even the worst of it yet. So the man who decided to quit his trucking job to pursue his dream of going to college has since regretted his choice. How much does he regret it? Well, hold that thought. Kenneth Ferraro, now 46, changed his life drastically in hopes of landing a better job after going back to school at the age of 40. If you really wanted to land a better job, you should have done your research and gotten a proper degree. I know a guy personally that his life was kind of effed up. Let's just say. He initially was going to college for a degree that, while not necessarily useless, it's just that there aren't that many people in that field that actually get work out of college. So he was kind of setting himself up for failure there. But he didn't even make it out. He had all sorts of family drama and bullshit going on in his life. He had to drop out, was it 2 semesters away from graduating? And he spent some time doing odd jobs here and there, just trying to make ends meet. And then he chanced into a career where he was interacting with people that did have pretty prestigious degrees, and they all pretty much told him too, like, yeah, you're more useful than all of these idiots here, so we would want to hire you for this job, except corporate requires that college degree and we can't get around it, so sorry. And so he did go back to college, and thankfully his previous failed degree, he was able to carry over all the useless gen ed stuff, so he could focus on just the important stuff. He went back to college, he got his degree, this time in a useful field, and he did have a job waiting for him when he got out, and he's still doing great. But what did this guy do differently from the guy that's in this article? Well, the guy I was talking about, he had a plan. He didn't just go back to college on a whim and get some useless degree. No, he went back to college knowing exactly what he was aiming for, and he accomplished it. That's how you need to treat college. If you're one of those people that thinks you're going to go to college to find yourself, you're only going to find yourself in a boatload of debt. But yeah, speaking of boatload of debt, let's continue with this guy. The Texas man drove trucks for decades. Though it provided him with a generous income, he was in search of something much more, getting a degree. So he already had it all, but it wasn't good enough. That's basically what I'm hearing from this. But now that he has his bachelor's degree in political science from New York University, Ferraro has struggled to land a job in a new field. Why did you get a useless degree then? Like, if you wanted to get a job in a different field, you had to have done the research before you went to college. What kind of job do you hope to get with a political science degree? So after all my hard work and sacrifice, the only work that I've been able to secure is the same type of work I've been doing my whole life for Auto Business Insider. Wow, so you mean decades of life experience is more important than a useless degree? Damn, man, I never would have been able to figure that out. After high school, he was not able to afford college, so he hopped straight onto a career. Oh, okay, I see what happened here. So this guy still idolized college because he grew up in an era where you're told everyone has to go to college, and he was one of the few that didn't, so he felt left out. Yeah. Meanwhile, my generation and younger, they're just like, yeah, we see what college is. Why would you even need college again if you already have a decent career, if you already have a decent job? Like, the whole point of it, at least as they sell it to you, is so you can land a decent career and a decent job. So why throw away a decent career and a decent job just to go to college? I don't get it. In current year -6, he attended a community college part-time and instantly enjoyed his experience, leading him to drop his trucking career and focus on his future. His future was to go back to trucking, except making less money. So after getting his associate's degree, he went on to complete his bachelor's, but he's only been able to land a delivery driver position after racking up $100,000 in student loan debt. Congratulations! You're right back to where you started before you wasted all that time and money on college, except now you got extra debt that you can't just get rid of with a bankruptcy either. Was it worth it? Should have done your research instead of operating on emotion. Right, he admitted that when he embarked on his indoctrinational journey, he knew it would be financially crippling, but he was willing to take the risk. You should have done the research if you're willing to get 100,000 into debt. You could have gotten a degree in a useful field that may have actually landed you a job, but nope. I'm going into political science. Okay. So his mother, Lynn Ballister, posed for a picture with her son in a cap and a gown at a current year in current year -2 at his college graduation, as she shared how proud she was of him. So proud, he was driving a truck and making a ton of money. Then one day said, "I'm quitting my job, selling my house, and going back to school." Why would you be proud of that? It's like, oh, hey, I got a decent job. I'm making a ton of money. I'm just going to throw it all away. Yeah, you go, son. I fully support you all the way. So Foster concluded then to apply and be accepted to NYU as one of the toughest curriculums in competition. I knew he was meant to succeed. Well, I guess congratulations. You succeeded at academia, but kind of failed at putting it to use. Yeah, this is the point where you learn something that should have been obvious to you after like 20 years of driving a truck. All right, Ferreira thinks that, or said he thinks that age has played a role in his full-time professional job search. Probably right, actually. He recalled applying for a job working for the government official in an entry-level position that he originally thought would be perfect fit for him. His perspective changed when he went to an in-person interview with the hiring manager. As soon as the hiring manager saw me, his whole demeanor changed. He ran through the questions and never truly engaged with me, Ferraro said. Yeah, that hiring manager was like, yeah, we're not hiring this guy. I'm not going to waste any time on him. Let's get through this quickly just so I can check it off my list and get someone else in here. He's later discovered that he was not chosen for the position, something he thinks was decided based on his age. I mean, it's kind of obvious you don't make good decisions either with this decision. So there is that. A man in his 40s who is the perfect candidate on paper, willing to work, willing to learn, and willing to apply himself to any task, is still a man in his 40s. You're not old enough for it to be considered age discrimination yet. So they're like, yeah, fuck him. So therefore, not a valid candidate, he added. Meanwhile, you could be a man in your 40s and still get a truck driver job. So men in the U.S. have struggled to find employment, as statistics from the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis revealed that as of June 8 of June. Oh, I saw June 89th. What? Okay, this makes sense. As of June, 89% of males are actively looking for a job or have one. Yeah, this is going to backfire spectacularly too. Like the reason men are having such a hard time finding employment is because of all the charity that was going towards women's. But sooner or later, they're going to need to hire someone that can actually make them money. In 1950, 97% of American men aged 25 to 54 had a job or were on the hunt for one. Dropped by what, 8 percentage points? That's quite a bit, actually. According to the National Center for Indoctrination Statistics, must be good, 44% of community college students and around 34% of college undergrad students are 25 years old or older. In November, current year -1, unemployment rate in U.S. college graduates aged 22 to 27 rose to 5%, compared to the country's overall rate of 3.7%. All right, look at it this way. They could have a job if they wanted to. It's just that all the available jobs they view as being beneath them. Oh, I won't. I have a degree. I don't do that kind of work anymore. You will when the money runs out. You will when the food runs out. Then you're going to go back to the places whose offers you rejected and find that they've already moved on and hired other people. Like, sorry, we don't need you anymore. Move along. Still, I just can't get over this, man. Imagine being 40 and having a decent job and seeing how bad college is in current year and then thinking, I should quit my decent job to go to college. I'm sure this is going to be great. With financial and emotional burdens weighing down on him, Ferreira went out to look for jobs in his old field, something he thought he would never have to do again. But just when he thought it was going to be easy to hop back into the trucker life, he was stunned to find that an ironic factor was holding him back to getting on the road again. Why? You sold your truck too? He noticed that including his indoctrinational experience on his resume is actually making it harder to secure a job in the field. Yeah, that's true. Like it's a legitimate problem with overqualification. I think I've told the story too. Like when from my time in college, one of my professors, obviously he had a he had a doctorate degree, and he was applying to places that only required like a master's. And he learned really quick in the job hunt that if the job only requires a master's degree, only tell them about the master's degree. You don't need to tell them about your doctorate, because they actively they didn't hire him even though he would have been the best for the job, because as someone with a doctorate, they were scared that he would demand more money. So he ended up having to hide that he had a doctorate to even get employed. And something tells me the same thing happened with this guy. So I did not start receiving interviews until I removed the indoctrination section of my application. My degree was holding me back, he said. Yeah, so they don't want to deal with college snowflakes. Now that's good. That's good though. Good on these trucking companies for gatekeeping like this. So just before he started school in current year -6, Ferrero secured a driving position that offered him 20% less than what he made before ditching his career for indoctrination. In this situation is very frustrating. It feels like I'm putting in so much effort without any return, he said. Yes. Yeah, and what are you going to learn from this? Well, that's coming up. So he pretty much is starting to realize he wasted his time and money for nothing. So how is he going to react to this? What's he going to do? How is he going to fix this? So presently, Ferrero is back to driving trucks during the day and attends grad school at night. He is working towards his next degree, a master's in public administration. Oh, he learned nothing. He lost a high-paying job to get a useless degree, had to come back to his old field and is making less money now. And he decides the best course of action is to go back and get another degree. It's possible. Maybe he researched this one and is going to be smarter about it, but I doubt it. So although he openly admits regretting going to college, he is hopeful that his degrees will one day pay off and land him a job that he's always dreamed of. How about dreaming of being an entrepreneur? Maybe work for yourself. You could do that as a truck driver. There are independent truck drivers. Yeah, do you know that a lot of plumbers work for themselves? A lot of electricians, HVAC techs. Instead of getting another regular job, why don't you just make your own? Not going to be easy, sure, but who dreams of working for someone else? Maybe working with someone else. Yeah, degrees are like having a high body count. Well, for younger whammons, degrees are pretty much equivalent to having a high body count from my experience. So what do you think they do while they're in college?